Welcome, love story lover. Subscribe to follow along on journeys of love, passion, and unforgettable moments. Ethan Winters never believed in second chances. He'd left Chicago years ago, leaving behind a heartbreak that had nearly destroyed him. But when he stepped into Lila Harper's art gallery, memories he tried to bury came flooding back like a storm. Lila, with her dark eyes and careful smile, was a woman who seemed untouchable, polite, distant, yet every movement, every glance, betrayed a tension he recognized instantly. He felt it like a magnet, an invisible pull he couldn't resist. "Ethan," she said, voice steady, professional, but her eyes lingered on him longer than necessary. "I didn't expect anyone." He noticed the painting behind her, a piece he'd seen years ago in her small apartment, sketched during a summer they had spent together. Memories hit him sharply. Laughter in the rain, whispered promises in the dark, and the sudden, suffocating silence when he had left. "I wasn't expecting you either," he said, keeping his voice calm, though his heart raced. He wanted to tell her he hadn't forgotten her, that leaving had never stopped the ache. Her gaze was sharp, assessing, cutting into him with the precision of a scalpel. She was dangerous, intoxicating, a storm he could not walk away from. He should leave, he knew that, but every fiber of his being refused. Because even after all these years, even after the pain, she remained the fire that refused to die, and he was helpless to resist it. Ethan moved through the gallery as though inspecting the art, but each piece reminded him of her, of them, of what he had left behind. Lila followed silently, the click of her heels echoing like a warning. The tension was tangible, charged, unspoken, like a current between two magnets too strong to resist. "Why are you really here?" she asked finally, stopping in front of a charcoal sketch of a stormy lake. Her voice held a mixture of curiosity and caution. "Curiosity," he said, letting a half-smile cross his lips. "And maybe regret." Her laugh was low, bitter, yet laced with the remnants of a warmth he remembered. "Regret doesn't fix anything, Ethan. You were never meant to stay." He remembered the night he left, the shouting, the slammed door, the unanswered tears. He had believed leaving was the only way to save them both. Yet now, standing in her presence, he wondered if running had been the bigger mistake. "You called me a distraction," Ethan murmured, voice tight with emotion. "Yet here you are, letting me stand in your gallery like I belong." Her eyes flickered away, betraying a hesitation she didn't intend. "Don't read too much into it. I have rules," she said, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her. Rules that bent for him, that always had, and he could feel the dangerous pull of unfinished business, the tug of what they once had and what neither could fully relinquish. A week later, Ethan returned home to find a note slipped under his door. "Gallery closes tonight. Come alone." Curiosity warred with caution, but his heart won. Lila's gallery was empty, the lights dimmed, except for a single lamp that framed her in a golden halo. Her gaze held a question, a challenge, a temptation that made his chest ache. "You shouldn't have come," she said softly, her voice layered with both warning and desire. "I couldn't not," he admitted. "You called me a distraction, but I feel like I'm more than that to you." Her laugh was low, incredulous, and tinged with a darker emotion he hadn't heard before. "I told you to leave my life. I didn't say it would be easy." They moved like predators circling, the charged air between them thick with years of longing, anger, and unspoken desire. When she brushed his hand lightly, it was both warning and invitation. "Why are we like this?" he asked, voice tight. "Why can't we just let go?" "Because letting go," she whispered, her breath hot against his ear, "would mean admitting you're still the one I want." Ethan realized then, in that moment, that she had never truly let go. Neither had he. The night stretched endlessly, every glance, every touch a reminder of what they had lost, and what they were on the brink of reclaiming. Their encounters became a dangerous rhythm. Lila invited him into her studio under the guise of collaboration. Yet each session drew them closer into the orbit of their old passion. One night, amidst scattered paintbrushes and canvases, Ethan's curiosity led him to a hidden drawer. Inside were sketches of him, raw, intimate, vulnerable. Each stroke told him what her lips had never dared, that she had never let him go. "Why are you keeping these?" he asked, his fingers tracing the lines reverently. Lila's voice shook. "Because I couldn't destroy them. I couldn't destroy you from my memory, even when I tried." He swallowed hard. "You made me a distraction to protect yourself, but every one of these proves you never stopped caring." Her eyes glistened with a storm of anger, longing, and fear. "I was scared. Scared of wanting you. Scared of losing myself again." That night, the walls they'd built crumbled. Passion, regret, and vulnerability collided. They fought against it, yet when their lips met, it was a surrender neither expected, a release they had both longed for. But danger wasn't gone. The past lingered, waiting to rise, threatening to consume them both. Just as Ethan began to believe in the fragile hope of reunion, shadows from Lila's past emerged. An ex-lover, arrogant and dangerous, hinted at betrayals Ethan hadn't imagined. "You think you know her," he sneered, "but she's always been complicated." Ethan's fists clenched. He wanted to trust Lila completely, yet doubt crept in like a poison. She noticed. Her eyes softened, meeting his gaze. "Don't let him get to you. You're the one I chose. Always." Yet even as she spoke, Ethan wrestled with fear. Love hadn't been enough before. Could it be enough now? Could they survive together when the past refused to let go? Rain-slicked streets and city lights became the backdrop for confessions neither could withhold. On a rooftop overlooking Chicago, Lila's voice trembled as she spoke. "I lied before," she admitted. "I called you a distraction to hide how much I needed you. Keeping you at arm's length, it was my way to survive." Ethan reached for her hand. "I've always wanted you, even when I left, even when I hated myself for going." Their embrace in the pouring rain mirrored the storm of emotions inside them. Confessions poured out, raw and liberating. Yet with liberation came risk. The past shadow still loomed. The ex returned, threatening to reveal a secret that could destroy everything. Lila's reputation, her gallery, even Ethan's trust. They planned carefully, navigating danger together. Each glance, each touch, heightened the thrill, blending fear with desire. They faced the threat side by side, hearts synchronized, adrenaline pulsing. For the first time, they weren't alone. Even after the immediate danger passed, unease lingered. Ethan discovered a hidden letter, proof of a past Lila hadn't shared. "Why didn't you tell me?" he demanded, hurt flashing in his eyes. "I was protecting you and myself," she whispered. "Some truths are too dangerous." Anger and love collided, but they realized trust isn't perfection. It's surviving together despite fear and uncertainty. The gallery reopened. Ethan offered her a choice: continue alone or face the world together. She studied him, reading the depth in his eyes. Then she stepped forward. "I choose us," she said. "It wasn't easy. It wasn't perfect, but it was real." They had chosen each other despite all risks. Amid the gallery, surrounded by her paintings, they stood together. Each brushstroke told a story of love, loss, and survival. "I guess we're not distractions after all," Ethan said softly. "Never were," she replied. Their kiss sealed a promise beyond words. The shadows of the past faded, leaving only desire, fire, and a love that refused to be ignored. Finally, they were free, not as distractions, not as mistakes, but as soulmates who had survived everything to be together. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt tales of love, healing, and second chances. Your support means the world.